All right, you guys, so this is going to be the supplier template that we've made. So this is going to be changing over time, but it's linked down below. And I just want to highlight some important parts that we've already talked about before that are important when talking to a supplier, but just go over this and, the general concepts of why we're doing this and, kind of how it looks. So basically, we have it where you're going to replace anything in orange. We try to make it easy as possible. And then obviously you're going to remove anything in blue. Just kind of some instructions here. And you obviously want to customize it for your own needs and desires because every product opportunity is going to be different. So don't just copy and paste this, but some of you will. And if you do, we've made it so that it wouldn't be the worst. But please do actually put some time into this because this is you're selling your supplier. This is an important part, okay? So put time into it. So obviously you talk about your name and your company, and then what we want to do just right here is include the product name and the product link right there. So by doing that, we're going to essentially be able to organize this because Alibaba is really poor at organizing. At the bottom, we ask them to respond by email because it's really a mess to use the Alibaba messaging system. And you're going to want to make a separate email, or you have your company email doing this. You don't want to be sending it from, joe42@gmail.com like we've talked about. So basically, we're just talking about, hey, we checked out your listing and we're looking to add a product. And this is like whatever you're going to call your product. Don't put the product name on Alibaba because they might be like customized hot selling product 28. You're not looking to add one of those. You're looking to add whatever you're going to call it. And then basically here, we're going to talk about what our requirements are because on Alibaba, they're going to have their product, okay? And then there's our product in our head, the idea of the customers. And we're trying to customize or get something across, all right? So there's going to be two scenarios. One where what they have looks just like what we need, and we don't really need to change anything, okay? So that would be kind of here where there's no customization needed. And essentially, we're going to say, hey, we need to put our logo on it. Obviously, if you need any certifications, it looks great. You don't need to change anything, but you need to make sure that it's certified. And then, we're going to kind of emphasize what what quality means to us because we want to really make sure from the first contact that we're telling them that we care about the quality of the product and not the price because you can always get a cheaper price like we've talked about, but you pay for it. So by being upfront right away, they're going to give you a lot better choices and not make shortcuts. And they'll let you know if you can get that. So what does quality mean to you? Like a specific type of material or durability, like how long is the battery life or, for example, milliamp hours is something that measures how strong a battery is. So you want to say like, okay, but how many milliamp hours is your battery? And, what are your options? Okay. Color and finish. Obviously, you kind of want to just get a little specific about what your needs are. Now, this will take a little bit of time to describe, but you have to do it at some point. And if you do it all up front and you send this all in a nice organized template to your suppliers, you're going to get very qualified people that respond. And this whole thing, I'm just saying really quick, it's pretty long. But we're doing this because we're putting all the thoughts out front, and then we're going to attract the best suppliers, and we're going to weed out the people that don't want to take the time to respond to this. And you do less work overall. If you don't put in the time here and describe your needs well, you get 20 responses instead of 3. And then now you have to ask all these questions anyways, but in Skype, 20 different times. And then you have no way to compare and organize all the responses. It's a mess. So just make sure to put the time into this. Obviously, like your weight, if maybe maybe some bundling, like, you need to you want to add some extra stuff or whatnot, like, add extra zippers or cables or whatnot. Anyways, that's just the general stuff there. We'll show an example later of how you an example of this template filled out. But, just kind of get pretty clear about it. And then check that out if you have any questions. Now, if you need customization, we have another example of an actual how we would describe if we were really trying to customize a product coming up later. But now we're going to need to say, basically when we're talking about customization needed, we're going to kind of describe this a little bit differently. So basically they'll have a product on Alibaba and it kind of looks like what you want. Maybe they got a square and you need a pentagon or something. Anyways, you're going to now need to say okay, well, it looks like you guys have the capabilities to make what we need. But we're going to need to add this triangle on top of the pentagon. See the customization video if you want to see more about that. But you're going to want to just really explain okay, what exactly needs to be done, and you want to qualify that they can do these things before you even go into further negotiations. So, can they add an extra feature? Could they add a handle to it, or a little extra pocket? Could they remove parts? Maybe something is unnecessary, or could they make it smaller? Okay, could they use a different material? Because I've had times where there's been glasses that I wanted, but I wanted a different material. And that was one of the main things that I would ask about. Okay, can you actually make it with this type of material in the lens? Because the glass form factor looks great, but I need different lenses. And so if they couldn't do that, it was out right away, because that was one of the main requirements for me. So you're going to want to just put the most important things to you overall if you're doing customization or you're not. That's the summary, because not all of these are important to every product, and it's nearly impossible to make a template that works for everyone. So these are just ideas of what to ask about. Other things like, hey, maybe could you bundle this with other products, or do you know other factories that can source, like if you wanted a custom zipper, maybe they can't make one, but they could go and get a custom zipper from another factory and help you get a custom zipper on something. So, or could they change the overall form factor from design, or could they add like a digital print to something or whatnot? So these are just kind of the things. And then lastly, you just want to emphasize the most important characteristics of your product. So like, hey, it's really important that we have a really great design and strong durability, and we need to add these features. So making it very clear to that, or maybe even certifications like, hey, please don't respond if you don't have this certification. We need you to already have it, not just the ability to get it. You're going to eliminate more responses. So that get more specific about what you need, and then only responses you get back are from good people. So that's kind of that. That was a bit long. In my opinion, that's the hardest part of this, is actually thinking about all the requirements of what you need. But you got to do it at some point, so do it here. Okay? Then what we're going to do is go ahead and ask for a sample. Basically ask so now it gets a lot easier. We're just going to ask for the sample. Okay, what is the cost to ship it to me in the United States or wherever your country is? What is the price? And what's the delivery date? So you could see, if somebody takes 14 days to get you a sample, something's wrong, okay? They should be able to get it to you pretty fast, about 5 days. Packaging, so if you need to get customized packaging, you're going to want to ask that up front. Can they go ahead and do that? You're going to have so basically you can get a white colored box, and then it could be any color you want, but so that basically just means that you're going to have the customization of a box available to you and design however you want. And then a brown packaging box is going to be basically just a brown box with a black print on it, or maybe a one color print on it. Typically when you originally order, you only get a cardboard box that's brown with one color, but if you order more, you can get colored boxes. And in the negotiation, so later in the negotiation video, we tell you how to actually get those white colored boxes without having to order a lot. And so watch that if you're wondering about that. Yeah, and then if you really needed like a custom box, like a window box, or inserts within those that are like square ones, like if you want an Apple-like box where it's just this amazing opportunity to open, you're going to want to ask about that. Or you might even have to find you might need to like private label your own box for your own product. But don't do that when you're getting started out. Price, okay? We're going to ask for 3 prices, all right? So we're probably going to have all 3 of these quantities over what we actually want to buy. So the reason we do this is for negotiation purposes. So we're asking for higher quantities, like maybe 5,000. Maybe we do like a 5,000, a 2,000, and a 1,000 quantity, or maybe 5, 3, and 1. Basically, if you were intending on ordering 3 or 500. So we do this for the purposes of, hey, we want to show that we're serious and we're going to order a lot. And then what we do later is we say, hey, we're making a sample order. And that's how that works. Obviously, ask about the shipping costs for those. Then we're going to ask about lead time. What's the lead time for 5,000, 2,000, and 1,000? Just by doing this, we're going to figure out, kind of how long is this going to take? And, as we scale up, what does the production lead time change? Because that's definitely something to take into account. Then what we're going to ask for is their Skype ID. And then we tell them to respond by Gmail, because you don't want them to respond by Alibaba because it's unorganized. And guess what? By having this step in here, you're going to see who actually takes the extra step to listen to your directions. If they can't listen to this direction to send it to your email, I mean, how are they going to get your product right? How are they, like all of this? Okay. So by doing this, you're essentially weaning out everybody through all these different steps, and you're getting all the information up front so you can make an educated decision with a qualified buyer right away and cut everything out. And then yeah, we basically say, hey, we're going to buy soon. We're looking at you and a couple other people, and we're ready to purchase. And yeah, we hope to hear back from you. And yeah, great. That's it. Make sure to use a professional email. I suggest not using a Gmail. If you want to know how to get a website, we have videos on that, and you can get it for really cheap and get your professional domain in less than an hour. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about the template, go watch some of the other videos or leave a question down below. And if you guys have any additions or subtractions that you think I should do to this template, let me know down below. Or if you guys have your own templates, sharing with other people would really be appreciated. So thanks. On to the next video.